we have a picture from Aries' proposal of a fluidized bed gasification facility. It's very pretty. It claims to take in sewage sludge, do some magic, and produce a useful material from which all toxics and PFAS have been removed. But as we'll hear from our next speaker, the science does not support that this proposed technology works.
When I found out I was sick, I made an effort to reduce my PFAS risk. I got rid of everything in my house that I thought contained PFAS. I had my blood tested this past June, and I have some of the lowest PFAS levels in the nation because of my efforts. That is my choice. You can choose to go to the store and buy a nonstick pan that has PFAS in it right now. I wouldn't do it. You can do that. If Aries opens up and this PFAS is coming out of the stack, that choice is no longer yours. It is being imposed on you.
How many years will we have to sit here while they try to fix a broken plant in Linden, New Jersey, to then build another broken plant here? And they're going to say a lot of things about how much money they're going to bring the city. But Barry Sanders, and he's here today, and he'll tell you it needs to be people over profit, right? And I think that's a great way to think of this, right? The city may get some money, but what is that going to cost taxpayers when your water becomes contaminated with PFAS higher than the level that's acceptable, and your city now needs to do remediation of that water? What is the cost for you, your family, or your friends who get sick from this and have to spend money going to hospitals, getting tested and getting treated? Is the money that Aries says they're going to bring here the best option? Is this technology the best option for Taunton to be able to get rid of its waste? And it's not. Gasification processes can release pollutants and greenhouse gases, contributing to air and water pollution. We cannot turn a blind eye to the potential consequences this may have on our environment, which we are entrusted to protect for future generations. It is our duty to explore alternative, cleaner energy sources that have a lower environmental impact. But let us not forget the most crucial aspect of this fight: our community's health and well-being. Gasification plants have been known to emit pollutants that can have detrimental effects on air quality, leading to respiratory issues and other health problems. We cannot allow our community to bear the burden of such risks.
The list goes on and on and on in terms of what we know we have evidence for. We have evidence for the bad things that take place to people. We have that evidence in terms of not protecting our public health. That should be enough for us to act and wait for the right technology to come forward.
Over 90% of the sewage sludge that would be going to this facility is not from Taunton. So that means all of the PFAS, the air emissions, all of the bad things associated with it, 90+% of it wasn't even from Taunton and would not have been our problem to deal with in the first place. So the fact that we are inviting all of this sludge into our community is just disturbing. So that in and of itself should just stop the project right at the door. We obviously, as a city, have an obligation to figure out what to do with our own sewage sludge, but it certainly should not be our unilateral problem to solve the issue for the region.
Senator Pacheco had said, the standard of 4 parts per trillion. And I thought, like, how much is a trillion? A trillion grains of rice is 17 tons of rice. So if something can have an impact at 4 parts per trillion, that's like 4 bad grains of rice in 17 tons of rice that would make all of that rice no longer edible. It just seems like a very, very small amount. That would tell me that this is some pretty dangerous stuff.
We should tell your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, make sure you fill that city hall up and say no to this project. If you believe in it, we need to stand together. The stronger we are standing together, we're gonna be able to get this done.